body bags where horror lies.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hey guys, happy Thursday, this is your Fright Chick speaking. Okay, so this week's theme is Cult Ritual Religion Week. So I've picked, I can't believe we've never done one of these! I've picked the original Children of the Corn. This is my little trilogy holographic box set. Holographic does not work on camera. Yeah, so I cannot believe we've not done one of these before. I love this series. There are 7 of these if you don't count the remake in 2009, and they're all shit apart from number 1 and number 2. So yeah, it's based on a short story by Stephen King, of course. The short story's pretty good. I think the ending's different. I have read it. It's in the Night Shift collection if you want to check that out if you're a fan. The film came out in 1984. I really like this. I'm not going to slag it off, sorry. Yeah, so it follows... Linda Hamilton's in this. I actually quite like her in this. It follows Bert and Vicky, but we open with a whole... There is no whodunit in this. It literally opens with how the town became the way it was. And then it's like 3 years later, and we watch Bert and Vicky, a couple of newlyweds, I think they are, and they go through the town. So anyway, in the opening of the movie, all the adults and the kids are going about their day-to-day life, going to church and whatnot, and then a couple of the kids kind of give the go-ahead to all the other kids to then murder all the adults, and we see them killing their parents, poisonings, throat slitting, just anything, just kill the adults, there you go. And it's pretty obvious that it's two of the kids who are like the ringleaders. So cut to 3 years later, and Bert and Vicky are driving through Nebraska. Here's Nebraska, I swear it is. They end up going past the town of Gatlin, or at least towards it. They're on their way to like a job interview or something, and it's obviously corn country. I don't know, you're backwards people. So yeah, there's a lot of corn, and it's in the middle of nowhere, of course. So they end up having to go through Gatlin, and they realise pretty quickly that it's like a ghost town. But before they get there, they run over a kid and freak out, you know, holy shit, we just killed a kid. But then when they look at him, they realise that actually he had his throat cut, so they didn't kill him, but they're still really freaked out because that means somebody else did who is nearby. Okay, so they pick his body up and decide to take him to the nearest town, which is Gatlin, to see if they can give him back and find out who he is and say, look, you know, we've hit your kid, we need to sort this out, we've got a dead body on our hands. So they take him there, and they realise it is a ghost town, and not very quickly, but not too far into the movie, they do come across a couple of normal kids. There's literally like 2 kids in this whole film who are not in the cult. They kind of befriend them and say, like, what happened here? Why is everything derelict? You know, there's no adults here, your kids, where are your parents? And then they come to realise pretty quickly when they get separated that something very bad has happened to the town. I don't think they get the full story, but maybe, I can't remember. So yeah, one of the children, I think he's about 12 or 13 in it, his name is Isaac. He's a boy preacher, okay, and he has been the leader of the cult since it started, which is led by supernatural force, people. I think it's, yeah, I'm not sure if they really touch too much on it. No, it is, fuck it, it's supernatural force. Called He Who Walks Behind the Rows, as in cornrows, but when I was a kid I heard that as He Who Walks Behind the Roads, because I didn't know what cornrows were, and I was like, what the fuck kind of shitty name is He Who Walks Behind the Roads? There's like one road into this town, and then I realised that I was being a dick. So yeah, He Who Walks Behind the Rows has kind of possessed Isaac and then gotten him to do this stuff. He has a right-hand man, Malachi. Malachi's badass! Oh my god, he's a badass ginger. So yeah, all the kids are like, you know, preacher kids, you know, yes, we follow the Bible, and they're all like, you know, having sex with each other so that they can get pregnant and produce, you know, children of the generation of the, you know, the He Walks Behind the Rose generation, and it's all very prim and proper, and they're very devout in their new faith of He Walks Behind the Rose cult. So yeah, but when they hit like, I think it's 18 or 19, it varies in adaptations, people. They then have to go into the corn and are sacrificed. So Bert and Vicky are in and amongst all this, running around trying to figure out what's going on, and they come across some not so very friendly kids. They come across the only 2 friendly kids, and it turns out that the little boy that they hear was obviously one of the kids that tried to run away. That is not a spoiler, it doesn't really get touched on, I can tell you about it. So yeah, the whole film, they're just running around and stuff until we get to the climax, really. It's a good climax, it's quite a good ending. I liked it. It does differ from the story, which is fine. But they eventually take Vicky hostage, and, you know, there's this iconic scene of Outlander, we have your woman, which I love the fact that South Park parodied that. I really do. It is funny. I can't remember the episode, but the one where they tell everyone that their parents molested them and then they end up with the town to themselves, that one. So yeah, so he has to kind of devise a way of rescuing her. He's severely outnumbered, and he is outnumbered by kind of supernatural force, and, you know, the force of Isaac, who's a creepy ass kid. I mean, I wonder how many people they auditioned for that role, because he is really fucking creepy. Like, I think it's natural, which is scary. So yeah, and then he has to try and save her. And I won't tell you if he does. I won't tell you how he does it, if he does, how he goes about it, all that. Too many spoilers in that. So yeah, it's a good film. I really enjoyed it. I don't know about the budget. I think it made quite a lot of money for what they made it for. So it did quite well. Fuck it, it must have done quite well because they made 7 sequels. Like, I didn't see the remake. I heard the remake was a bit more gritty, you know, with like the sex and stuff. But the rest of the sequels, the rest of the franchise, people, I really wouldn't suggest watching past the second one. If you want to, because you collect them like me, then just do it when you've got fuck all to do. Because if you're going to sit there and make time for it and go, hey, I'm going to watch a cool movie, you won't, okay? Because they're really shit. And I'm not going to tell you about all of them because this is just a review of the first one. But I will say this. The 7th one, Revelations, like, I remember going to the video store still when 666 came out, which is Isaac's Return, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and it wasn't that bad. It was interesting. They brought him back and stuff. But the 7th one had Michael Ironside in it, and I gave it way more credit just because it had Michael Ironside in it than I should have, because it fucking sucks. Holy, it shouldn't be called Children of the Corn. Sorry, no. That ain't a Children of the Corn movie. Don't even bother. It'll bore you to death. Okay, so that is it. That is my review. And I will see you next week. Go check out this movie and go get this box set because it's a really good one. Okay, I will see you next week. Bye.